Hi Kieran, nice to catch up with you today. So would you like to give me a little bit of a history and tell me how long you've been with Northumbrian Water Group as their water director now?
Yeah, sure. Great to see you again. So Kieran Ingram, I'm the Group Water Director at Northumbrian Water. I've been here for coming up to 10 months now.
Gosh, time flies.
It does, yeah, massively. So it feels like only yesterday I started, and already, straight into it. The water industry never stops. Every season brings its different challenge. Yeah, it's been a bit of a journey as well, people-wise, which you've been helping out amazingly with too.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, we have recently had the opportunity to work together on a couple of roles. So I suppose from your perspective, what were your thoughts about working with me and Douglas Jackson? Did you have any preconceptions or reservations?
So I think I'm always nervous when we work with anybody who isn't our own internal recruitment teams, let's be honest. But I think for me, what I was looking for was something very specific, not just to, senior leaders, which is always a challenge when you come into a role and immediately, you're faced with wanting to make changes. And so it's making sure that where we do, believe that we need to go externally, we need to use, companies like yourself, that we get the right fit. You understand the brief of what we're looking for. And for me, this is a personal journey. I know I like to be very, very much involved in the recruitment journey. For me, people work for people. And so it's not just about our business, our company, and being new as well here. That was equally a challenge of, making sure that the reservations of understanding us as a business, our industry, and me, all those things together, it makes you nervous, but also excited to kind of, what's the opportunity that we don't know? We only get to see and touch, a selection of people, the communities we serve, and it's always nice to kind of utilize companies that have a much broader spread and network to kind of help us with that challenge.
Absolutely. And I think it looking at it from a new perspective, but with that acute awareness of what's happening in the industry too, as well as the business challenges, because every business is different.
Yeah, no, it's always a bit of a leap of faith, and I think we liaised, and then we met at one of the various utility conferences that we have, and I think immediately then seeing the interactions you have, the passion to understand, not only our industry but multiple industries, and helps you then think what's the art of the possible in terms of that recruitment. I think those preconceptions, reservations around always, can they really help us? Do they really get us? What's different to our own recruitment teams? I think that value there when you really are recruiting at such a vital and critical level, or something very niche. I think that's the value that you and Douglas Jackson really provide.
Absolutely. And I suppose aside from that, how have you felt that there have been sort of further benefits of working together?
Yeah, so I think the wider benefit for me is the personal touches. So I think it's not, you're working with an individual like yourself, Holly, and I think that's dedicated support is very much refreshing from being one of many clients, for example, that I've seen in recruitment processes before, and just being sent a load of CVs. The fact that you are going through the motions of understanding not just CVs, but evaluation of the leadership skills we're looking for, the look and feel into our organisation, the touch points. For me, that kind of brings it to light very differently. And this, but also then your evaluation of what we're looking for, not only in our industry, but also an evaluation of what's the market look like from a geography perspective, from a demographic point of view. When we're trying to look at diversity, what the challenges in the coming through. You kind of gave us that different benchmark of our thinking to kind of say, well, this could be a long process, this could be a short process, and it kind of helped us maybe open our eyes to the art of the possible across multiple industries coming into the space, where sometimes we're a bit narrow-minded in terms of what we're looking for, or that what we think we need. So I think that was quite refreshing for me, and also I think a lot of the specialist recruitment companies that I've personally worked with in the past, have been very industry or company specific, and what I was quite refreshing and I liked most about this process was ultimately where the candidates have ended up coming from has been a real mixture,
Yeah.
and I think that's credit to pushing us in the direction to say why wouldn't you try, and bringing CVs and psychometric evaluations to life, and candidate briefings that sometimes we might have dismissed.
Absolutely. It's that more sort of out of the box thinking as well, I think, isn't it? Rather than this is a carbon copy of what you can get from elsewhere, why not explore opportunities to find people that are adding value in other industry sectors? Yourself, you came from outside of the water sector a number of years ago now, but it's a completely fresh outlook as to the challenges that you're facing and how to overcome them as well, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's that's part of it, and even being a little bit different in the process, so not just CV trawling and interviews, but being able to have some chats with candidates in advance, being more transparent about the challenges our industry faces, because that's always a danger. Then you get candidates in, and then the reality of the role is very different to what's on paper. So I think being flexible with myself, and us as a business again, made it feel like this was an in-house recruitment process, not necessarily that we've outsourced something, and I think that shows a true partnership, rather than just a supplier, which I think is absolutely what I was looking for.
No, that's lovely to hear. Thank you. And I think from my perspective as well, it's much easier when there's that key collaboration from all of the stakeholders involved in the process as well. So you as the hiring manager, your HR lead, your talent lead internally. I think it's about making sure that everybody's on the same page. We've all got the same vision of where we want to land, and it opened up a lot of discussions during the process as well, didn't it, as to how we could overcome the challenges that we were facing externally when we were presenting the opportunities as well. So I think that communication piece is key. So I suppose finally, would you recommend us to other companies, Kieran?
Oh, absolutely. I think what I liked, the big thing that I could say here is the trust that I think we had in this process, and those internal conversations meant that we could be more transparent than we normally would be, in terms of the challenge that we face in our business, what we're looking for, and I think ultimately that got us to the right candidate. And so I think anybody else thinking around this journey on something from a niche recruitment through to senior leadership recruitment, I thought the personal attention felt like very much that this was a trusted partnership, and I would absolutely recommend yourself and Douglas Jackson to anybody else.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Kieran.
No, thank you. Ultimately, we've ended up with two amazing candidates, and as you can tell, very excited for them to be starting and joining with us soon.